Everybody, I call to order the Riverview Community School District Board of Education regular meeting for August 26, 2025. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
President Bohr.
Here.
Vice President Dominski.
Here.
Secretary Walker here. Treasurer Davis.
Here.
Trustee Meeks.
Here.
Trustee O'Brien.
Here.
Trustee Toth.
Here.
Next, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. First, we'll have some presentations, and I just want to say on behalf of the board, I want to thank Superintendent Hatzel, our central office team, Mrs. Carl, Mrs. Ekman, and all those who collaboratively helped in the recruiting, interviewing, and hiring of all summer long for our outstanding new staff members. Our new hires are excellent additions to our Pirate team, and I'm looking forward to their dedication and contribution to our district's Pirate pride, to our kids' educational success and experience, and to making our district the shining centerpiece of our community. And with that, I'd like to hand it off to Superintendent Hatzel for presentations.
Thank you, President Bohr, and I too agree with those sentiments. We talked yesterday with our new staff, most of which are here tonight, about how valuable they're going to be additions to our team here in Riverview. So we're super excited. But I'm going to turn it right over to our HR Director, Ms. Ekman, who will introduce our administrators, and they'll present their new respective staffs.
So we're going to go ahead and start with Seats Middle School. Mr. Gill and Ms. Gurney will introduce their new hire.
We are excited to welcome Marissa Luzak as our new English language arts teacher at 6th grade. If she looks familiar to you, that's because she's a proud graduate from the Riverview Community School District. She went on to earn her bachelor degree from Alma College. During that time while she was there, I want to update you on where our graduates go and what they've accomplished since they left us before they come back to us. She was on the Dean list for 8 semesters and was even nominated as Alma College's 2024 NCAA Woman of the Year. In addition to her academic success, Marissa has gained valuable teaching experience through her roles at Stevenson Middle School and the Exeter summer programs. This is where she taught English, public speaking, and debate, also serving as a mentor and a residential advisor. As a natural leader, she served as the captain of the Alma's varsity swim and dive team and is presented at the National Council of Teachers of English Conference. We're thrilled to have Marissa to bring her back with her passion, her energy, and her dedication all the way back home to Riverview, where she never really left, and where her journey first began. So we're super excited that you probably hear this theme a lot. Like, a lot of teachers from Riverview went to Riverview, and she knows our culture. She's been a part of the community, and she's going to continue to give back to the community, just like a lot of us fellow Riverview students. So welcome to our district, back to the district.
Next, Mr. John Evans will introduce the staff at the ECLC building.
Good evening, everyone. We actually have 2 unique hires, neither of which are Riverview graduates, which is a little bit of a surprise. First up, we have a new social worker at the Early Childhood Learning Center, Julia Dietrich. She graduated locally from Woodhaven High School. She did her undergrad at Eastern Michigan, and she achieved her master's degree in social work from Wayne State University. She did her recent internship at Southgate Community Schools. So she's been downriver for a while now, and I know that she's going to get embedded and be a pirate right from the get-go, and she's been a warm welcome to the building already, and we're excited to start working with her. Next up, we have a lead teacher in our preschool, our Great Start Readiness Program, Sarah Castleman. We stole her locally. She's a Trenton graduate, Trenton resident. She graduated from U of M Dearborn with both her undergrad and her master's in early childhood. And she's most recently working in Lincoln Park in the Great Start Readiness Program. She's very experienced. She's already hit the ground running. She's got a few years under her belt, and she's really done a really good job so far, and we're really looking forward to having her on board.
And for our last building tonight, the high school has a new staff member as well, so Mrs. Firkus will introduce her.
Hi. So it's my honor and pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Marna Ball. I always am excited to have an opportunity to hire individuals who choose to pursue education as a second career. One, because, I feel like they're kind of seasoned veterans and they bring to us a wealth of experience and opportunity. Marna was a very successful individual in the corporate world and then had always, when she was being interviewed, she talked about how she just always had felt led to go into teaching and just really felt like she had not really been fulfilled in the corporate world and then wanted to give back and felt led into teaching. So I'm going to give you her words. Before becoming a teacher, Marna worked in customer service and support where she developed strong interpersonal communication, problem solving, and relationship building skills. Although she enjoyed the work, teaching brings her far more fulfillment, joy, and purpose than she had thought possible. The opportunity to connect with students and celebrate their strengths and help them to grow has been even more exciting and rewarding than anything that she had previously experienced in her professional life. And that is what shone through in her interview. At the heart of her teaching philosophy is a simple yet powerful belief that students come first, and her passion to ensure that every student feels seen and heard in a space where learning is meaningful and fun and where all can grow. Outside of the classroom, she loves to laugh and stay active, and she even rides a unicycle, which, I'll be honest, I'm thinking homecoming assembly, Costa. We're on it, like right now, it's going to happen. I wrote it in here, we will put that to use, JJ. Before joining us, Marna co-taught physics and other social studies and science classes at Dearborn High School, and she'll be co-teaching with us in social studies with Haley Hicks, who is also super passionate, really energetic. I think they're going to be a great team. They'll be a formidable force. We're super excited to have her. I'm excited to have her, and thank you for welcoming us and having her here tonight.
Yeah, if you'd all come up real quick for a quick photo op. Will you get a Jen? One of the Jens? What do you want to go up there with?
All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to guest and visitor comments for the 2-minute session. The purpose of the public participation portion of the meeting is to provide an opportunity for the citizens to share their thoughts with the board. Personal concerns are best handled through proper channels. Questions requiring investigation will be referred to the superintendent for consideration. Are there any guests and visitors for the 2-minute session? Seeing none, we'll move on to our agenda, item A44, acceptance of agenda. Do I have a motion?
President Boer,
Vice President Dominski?
be resolved, the Riverview Board of Education accepts the agenda for 8/26 of 2025 regular meeting.
Motion by Vice President Dominski. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Treasurer Davis. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
President Board,
Yes.
Vice President Dominski,
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Trustee Meek.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Toth.
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to consent grouping. Item A45. Do I have a motion?
President Board,
Secretary Walker?
be it resolved, the Review Board of Education accept the minutes of the July 22nd, 2025 study session, the minutes of the July 22nd, 2025 regular meeting, approve the check registers and purchase card expense reports, approve the lease renewal with the Riverview United Methodist Church, approves the 21F Virtual Learning Day Plan, approves the certified personnel contracts, acknowledges the 25-26 OK to Say contacts, and approves the 2025 fall coaching schedule staff as all contained in the consent grouping.
Motion by Secretary Walker. Do we have support?
Support.
Let's see, I think Vice President Dominski got that one. Support by Vice President Dominski. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Secretary Walker, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Trustee Toth.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
President Board.
Yes.
Vice President Dominski.
Yes.
Trustee Meek.
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to board updates, and I just want to take a quick moment to welcome Mr. Costa Matthews to our board table, and I want to thank him for volunteering his time and out of his very busy schedule for preparing to help us hear the great achievements going on at the high school every month for our meeting. He's a very well-accomplished and well-spoken young man. And next, I'll hand it over to Superintendent Hatzel for further words.
Yes, I too want to welcome Costa to our team. Up here, again, as Mr. Boer said, it's a sacrifice of his time. He's a very busy young man of the class of 2026. He's a member of NHS. He's a vice president of student government for the senior class, also a football player. Like we like our Riverview students to have multiple opportunities, both inside and outside the classroom. And I think when we interviewed Costa for the position, he fit that bill, and he's going to be a great addition and hopefully have a good experience. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you for his first board report.
All right, guys. So RCHS is excited to welcome back students. Locker signs are hung up, and school choice students have received cards from staff members. AP, SAT, PSAT scores will be revealed in future meetings. Senior Sunrise is September 10th at 7 a.m. on the football field. Freshman orientation is going to be on Thursday. So what's that's going to look like is some people from Connection Club are going to walk the freshmen through the school, have them kind of get to know where their lockers are, maybe some of their classes. And we also have an open house September 9th. So that's just for the parents to walk through any classes, have the kids, show them around. That should be a good time. That's from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. That's September 9th. And also, our first football game is this Thursday at 7 p.m., Donald G. Lesnar Stadium. We play Utica Eisenhower, and all staff members get in for free. That's all I have. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Costa. Nice job. First one's always the hardest. On my front, legislatively, we're still pleading our legislators to pass a school aid budget. We have no school aid funding for the 25-26 school year, obviously leaving us in limbo. We're hopeful that something gets done before the session or government shutdown at the end of September. In other state education news, just this afternoon, Dearborn School Superintendent Glenn Maleko was named our new state superintendent. So kudos to Glenn, who's a colleague of mine from Wayne County, and he'll be a good addition. So I look forward to having that, connection with the state superintendents since we've worked the last 4 years together. So. Locally, I want to have a few kudos to our summer learning programs. We had our summer unplugged literacy program was well attended. We had a fishing event on the football field, and another event where we exchanged books, and it was really well planned and really well participative. So thanks to all the citizens and students and teachers who helped make that happen. We had our middle school seats boot camp, which allowed our 6th grade incoming students to learn about the school without having to deal with the 7th and 8th graders this summer. And my own daughter participated, and I know Mr. Toast's daughter participated. It really kind of put a little bit at ease, so we hope to continue that program. And then our summer enrichment program and summer credit recovery were also a success. So thanks to all the teachers who helped, the support staff, the custodial staff, the food service staff, that made those summer things happen when a lot of people were away. I also want to commend our teaching staff who took some time of their own summer break to participate in the professional development. We had some math people, some coaches, and 20 of us, teachers and administrators, went to the National PLC Conference in Detroit. So while the kids were away, we were still working hard. And that leads me to our last groups, our grounds and maintenance groups who really have prepared. I mentioned today at our opening meeting with staff, our facilities are not new in construction, but the way that everybody from our maintenance and our teaching staff and our students respect and take care of it, it's really amazing to see. And very frequently when other of my colleagues from other districts come and say, how old did you say this building was? Because it looks really, really sharp. So thanks to all those people. And then finally, my office staff and my administrative team who also worked this summer to schedule and get everything in place. I really appreciate how well we're going to prepare for Tuesday when we welcome the 3,000 kiddos back, and we're ready to rock. So thanks to everybody who did that. With that being said, as Costa alluded to, Tuesday is the big day. Everybody's back, and if you're not in the know at Riverview, we really encourage all of our families to get involved. So starting tomorrow night, all 3 of our elementary schools at 5 o'clock have open house meet and greets. So we encourage you to make that initial connection with your teachers and administrators at the buildings. And then our middle school has the same thing tomorrow night at 6:30. And then, as Costa said, high school's next week. Other than that, I think that's all I have. I said we welcomed our entire staff back today. We had a great event, so thanks to our team that helped make that happen, including Julie here. It was a great event. We invited everybody at the district. It was well attended, and Mr. Gill and Ms. Gurney helped me with an about face because we had to shift locales, but everybody's in good spirits, and I think it's going to be a fantastic year to be a Riverview Pirate.
Well, thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. And I also want to thank you and the whole team for all the leadership and forward-looking work over the summer that you did, focusing efforts in areas of professional development and the professional learning community for math and literacy, and also continuing on such efforts as guiding coalitions spread across the elementary buildings to strengthen alignment and focusing on curriculum there. And they're all very important for our district's success. Thank you again. Next, we'll move on to our new business. with item A46, award the high school ball diamond renovation. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
The high school varsity baseball and softball diamonds are in need and due to be refurbished due to some drainage, slope, and safety issues. Bids were solicited through the RFP process and we received one bid from Dura Edge Products in the amount of $81,942.68. The bid proposal form is attached. We've used Dura Edge in the past successfully, and the pricing is in industry averages. After reviewing the quote is the recommendation of the Director of Operations, Mr. Gary Kennedy, and Athletic Director, Mr. Derek DeBrano, that Dura Edge Products, Inc. be awarded the bid for a sum not to exceed $82,000.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do I have a motion?
President Bohr,
Trustee Meeks?
be it resolved, the Riverview Board of Education award the varsity baseball and softball diamond renovations to Dura Edge, Inc. for a sum not to exceed $82,000.
Motion by Trustee Meeks. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Toth. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee Meeks?
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien?
Yes.
President Bohr?
Yes.
Treasurer Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Toth?
Yes.
Vice President Dominski?
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A47, approve policy amendments, additions, and updates. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
At the July 22nd, 2025 regular meeting, the Board of Education reviewed and accepted for the purpose of a first reading the Board of Education bylaws and policies, including amendments, additions, and updates proposed by Miller Johnson dated March of 2025. It is recommended that the Board waive the third reading and move to formal adoption. In addition, Miller Johnson added additional recommended updates and policy modifications in August of 2025. It is a recommendation of the superintendent that the stated Board of Education bylaws and policies, including amendments, additions, and update as presented, be adopted by the Board of Education effective immediately.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. I'll make the motion. Be it resolved, the Riverview Board of Education waives the second reading of the August 2025 recommendations and waives the third reading of the March and August recommendations and immediately adopts the Board of Education bylaws and policies, including amendments, additions, and updates as proposed by Miller Johnson. Do I have support?
Support.
Supported by Vice President Dominski. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee Toth?
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Trustee Meeks?
Yes.
President Bohr?
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien?
Yes.
Treasurer Davis?
Yes.
Vice President Dominski?
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to guests and visitor comments for the 5-minute session. Are there any guests and visitors with comments for the 5-minute session?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ed Moss. I'm a Riverview resident. Just to recap for everybody, since it's been a while since I've been here, I started the Riverview Safety Initiative Program, otherwise known as RSIP, just over a year and a half ago now, and I'm here to provide an update on some things with that, as well as some tips I have not provided previously to this board. And my apologies, I don't intend on being absent any longer than I was before, and unfortunately some things just cannot be helped. But with that having been said, first thing I'll start out with is a problem I've mentioned before. Apparently, a few months ago I received another letter from Dave Skirtle about the rodents in Riverview. Again, I could ask Mayor Swift about this, and I've asked him 3 times in the council to give an update and tell us what's going on with it, but he refuses to do so. So I will, once again, through the Riverview Safety Initiative Program, urge everybody that has students near the high school to have their kids be very mindful of any rodents and especially rats that may be there, because Mayor Swift especially is not commenting, and nor is he updating myself or anybody else in the city that's not a council member, as far as I know, as to this problem, and it certainly does not promote safety, to be sure. So that's the first thing I will say. So be very, very mindful and be very, very aware of this for sure, because it can be a very dangerous situation. I've had to deal with rats in one place I lived, and it's not a pleasant situation, to be sure. The other thing I wanted to mention is, since we're still somewhat at the tail end of summer and the weather's still somewhat warm, For everybody riding their bicycles and that, it's important to obey traffic laws and to especially wear your helmet and that. And I've seen any number of cases this summer where I saw younger and some older people who did not do this. And I think it's important that we not follow certain adults' examples sometimes, but rather we set our own path, especially when it's the right path. And certainly obeying traffic laws and wearing a helmet when riding a bicycle is certainly the right path to go for everybody. But I also recognize the fact that not everybody will do it. But just because the older people don't do it doesn't mean that the younger people ought not set a better example than some of us who don't. With that having been said, for those of us who are driving, we need to be mindful of our children. I jotted down some things that just happened to me today in my travels that somewhat are regular occasions that I think we all need to be aware of too, just to keep everybody safe. On my way back to my house, there was a vehicle that cut in front of me across Sibley and pretty much darted going into the Riverview Commons, which is totally unnecessary as far as I'm concerned. I think it's important that when one drives, one be patient, to be sure, and not drive so recklessly and dangerously, and also to use turn signals, and that would be, for those of us who don't know what that is, that would be the thing that you move that's in your column that most likely you don't use. But I make sure that I use mine every chance I get. The other thing I noticed is you've got any number of people that like to weave into traffic, or in my view, it reminds me of a particular video game from back in my day and it's just really, really something. No need to do that. I mean, if somebody's crossing the road, you can easily hit them. So we need to all be mindful of that. And again, if you do it, just don't flip your turn signal on and go into traffic and that. So that's the thing with that. The other thing I will mention is just overall, common sense must prevail, and we must all be aware in order, one, to make the city a lot safer place, but also to make our own situation safe for ourselves and our family. I think it's important that we do that. So when in doubt, be aware, be mindful, and definitely be conscientious. And here's to a wonderful start to the school year, and I certainly won't be a stranger this year if I can help it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moss. Any other guest and visitor comments for the 5-minute session? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to items for discussion presented by board members, which no action can be taken. Any items for discussion? I'll take one. I just want to thank and congratulate our Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Maxon, for her dedicated work to secure a $250K grant from the state to help in the area of literacy. And I look forward to unique, innovative uses for the resources to move our district forward in this area, similar to how she led the district with the One Book, One Community initiative earlier this year. Thank you. And then next, on behalf of the whole board, I want to wish our students, staff, and administration and families a successful and safe start to the school year. And I also want to thank our grounds and facility director, Mr. Kennedy, and his staff for all they did over the summer, getting our buildings ready and sparkling condition for the new school year, and for implementing several important building upgrades. And I also want to wish our fall athletic teams, our marching bands, and our cheer teams the best of luck in their upcoming fall season. Any other items, comments? Next, we'll move on to future business. Our September study session will be on Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 6:30 at RCHS. And our regular meeting for September will be in the Riverview City Hall here on Tuesday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. Next, we'll need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Dominski. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Treasurer Davis. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
President Bohr,
Yes.
Vice President Dominski,
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Treasurer Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Meeks?
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien?
Yes.
Trustee Toth?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Meeting adjourned